हेलो एवरीवन, वेलकम टू माय यूट्यूब चैनल द सोलफुल डायरी। आज के वीडियो में हम बात करेंगे जॉन डॉने की पोम द रेलिक के बारे में। पोएट के बारे में हम पहले ही एक वीडियो में डिस्कस कर चुके हैं, जिसका लिंक डिस्क्रिप्शन में है। चलिए आज पोम को इन डेप्थ डिस्कस करते हैं। पोम को इन डेप्थ डिस्कस करने से पहले जान लेते हैं उसके कुछ की फीचर्स। द रेलिक बाय जॉन डॉने describes the nature of miracles and the spiritual love that exists between the speaker and his lover. It is a three-stanza poem that is made up of sets of 11 lines. The form of the stanzas as well as the rhyming pattern of the lines is quite interesting. A reader will immediately see the varied intention of the lines, but with closer inspection, the rhyme scheme becomes clear as well. The poem follows a pattern of A B B C D D C E E E. Additionally, the meter is somewhat hard to determine. This is because while most lines are written in iambic pentameter, there are some exceptions. The poem is told from the perspective of a first-person narrator. This person brings an outwardly but still relatable tone to the text. The poem begins with the speaker proposing a future in which his remains, alongside a bracelet of hair, are intercepted as evidence of a miracle. In this future world, the speaker tells of how men making the discovery take the find to a king or bishop. The speaker and his lover would then be made into saints to be worshipped by men and women. The speaker laughs over this possibility, dismissing these kind of crafted miracles. He turns instead to the nature of their relationship as a real example of a miracle. They loved one another mostly from afar, only sharing a few kisses here and there. While the speaker might want more to happen between them, he understands the importance of their spiritual connection. चलिए पोम को इन डेप्थ डिस्कस करते हैं। Stanza 1. When my grave is broke up again, some second guest to entertain. For graves have learned that women had to be to more than one a bed, and he that digs it spies a bracelet of bright hair about the bone. Will he not let us alone and think that there is a loving couple lies, who thought that this device might be some way to make their souls at the last busy day meet at this grave and make a little stay? In the first stanza, the speaker proposes a possible future scenario. It is not one that he particularly wants to come to pass, but a situation he can see happening. He sets the scene by imagining that he takes a piece of hair from his lover. Before he dies, he winds that around his wrist like a bracelet. The man is buried that way. He remains at peace until his grave is broke up again. This refers to the dirt that covers him being dug up and a second guest or another body buried there. This event is meant to happen sometime in the far future when his remains would be mostly decomposed. For whatever reason, these grave diggers did not expect to find a body. After doing so, they noticed the bracelet of bright hair about the bone of his wrist. Unlike the rest of the body, it has not decomposed at all. This is a testament to the regard in which the speaker holds his lover. She has some kind of outwardly power that transcends him, time, or at least this representation of her does. The stanza continues to describe the part of this proposed narrative that the speaker finds amusing. It is likely he believes that these grave diggers will look at the hair around his wrist and make up a story about it. Perhaps they will believe that the man wore this device to make their souls meet at this grave and make a little stay. The purpose they propose that the hair worked some kind of magic to reunite them. This is a humorous possibility to the speaker who knows he would never attempt something like this, nor does he seem to believe it would ever work. The speaker is passing judgment on superstition and crafted magic thinking. Stanza 2. If this fall in a time or land where misdevotion doth command, then he that digs us up will bring us to the bishop and the king to make us relics. Then thou shalt be a Mary Magdalene, and I a something else thereby. All women shall adore us, and some men. And since at such time miracles are sought, I would have that age by this paper thought. What miracles we harmless lovers wrought. The story continues into the second stanza where it sets out the possibilities for what comes next. The person who found the speaker's decaying body will bring us to the bishop or the king. One of these two will understand the crafted importance behind the find and make us relics. He speaks to the listener with humor in his voice. This is not something he longs for, but rather something he wants to make fun of. He sees their position in the eyes of the world being raised to the like of Mary Magdalene. In the last four lines, which are more structured than those which come before them, speak on how all shall adore us. Mostly women will be devoted to those two new saints, but probably some men too. The lines speak of the future as a time in which miracles are actively sought out. He hopes that with this paper he will have taught the future of the true miracles the lovers wrought. Stanza 3. First we loved well and faithfully, yet knew not what we loved, nor why. Difference of sex no more we knew than our guardian angels do. Coming and going, we perchance might kiss, but not between those meals. Our hands never touch the seals, which nature, injured by late law, sets free. These miracles we did, but now, alas, all measure and all language I should pass, should I tell what a miracle she was. In the last lines of the poem, he describes what he sees as being the truly magical part of his relationship. He and his listener have loved well and faithfully. Their love was transcendent in that there was no clear reason why they loved one another. The relationship just existed. The two operated around one another as simple bodies. There was no difference in sex as exists within other relationships. They felt for one another as guardian angels feel for their charges a lot without qualification. The next lines reveal that the relationship has not progressed farther than a kiss. They come and go around one another, and in passing touch, the speaker seems at least slightly annoyed that the relationship has not progressed further than this. They have not come close enough to touch the seals which nature sets free. Although he might wish there was physically more between them, he appreciates the miracle like nature of the love they do share. But more than that, it is the woman herself who appears to him as a miracle. This relates to his previous statements about the truth of miracles and the amount of importance one should place on them. Miracles that can be described, such as the hair around his future wrist, are worth nothing. In contrast, he is unable to articulate the intensity of the spiritual connection between himself and the lover. This categorizes it as a true miracle. Poetic devices. In the Relic, John Donne uses several poetic devices to explore the themes of love, death, and the nature of relics, including conceit, imagery, and alliteration. The poem's central conceit or extended metaphor revolves around the speaker's lover's hair being a bracelet around his bones, suggesting that this earthly love might be misconstructed as a religious relic. This conceit is further developed with vivid imagery such as the miracles of the love they Rot, alliteration like in the line, to make their souls at last busy day, adds emphasis to the speaker's idea. Conceit. Donne uses a central conceit, an extended metaphor, where the speaker imagines his lover's hair as a relic around his bones, misread as a saint's relic. This conceit highlights the speaker's earthly love and its potential to be mistaken for something sacred. Imagery. The poem is rich with imagery, especially related to the imagined grave and the miracles of their love. The speaker imagines his bones adorned with his lover's hair, creating a strong visual and sensory impression. Alliteration. Donne uses alliteration to emphasize certain words and phrases, such as in the line, to make their souls at the last busy day. The repetition of constant sounds creates a musical effect and reinforces the idea being expressed. Metonymy. Donne uses metonymy by calling the day of judgment a busy day, replacing the full name with a part of it. These poetic devices, combined with Donne's distinctive style and metaphysical wit, allow him to explore complex and often paradoxical ideas about love, death, and the nature of fate. Themes. In the Relic, John Donne explores the enduring power of love and the potential for love to be a spiritual experience, and the foolishness of worshipping relics, particularly in a critique of Catholicism. The poem envisions a future where the speaker and his lovers remains adorned with her hair might be mistaken for saints, highlighting the enduring impact of love. Themes. The enduring power of love. The poem emphasizes how love can transcend both death and be remembered long after physical bodies have decayed, suggesting love's miraculous and enduring nature. Love as a spiritual experience. Donne's poem presents love as a source of spiritual fulfillment, potentially rivaling religion in its ability to provide meaning and connection, as evidenced by the speaker's desire to be considered a saint with his lover. Foolishness of relic worship. The poem subtly critiques the worship of relics, suggesting that the focus on physical remains and past saints may distract from the true power and the nature of spiritual love, particularly in the context of Catholic practices. Love and death. The poem explores the intersection of love and mortality, with the speaker envisioning their love surviving death and potentially being mistaken for sainthood by those who discover their remains. Spiritual love versus physical love. Donne also grapples with the complexities of love, potentially suggesting that even physical love can have a spiritual dimension, blurring the lines between the earthly and the divine. थैंक यू। आई होप आज की वीडियो आपको पसंद है। कैसी लगी हमें कमेंट करके बताएं और हमें ये भी कमेंट करके बताएं कि आप आने वाले वीडियोस किस टॉपिक पर देखना चाहते हैं। अगर वीडियो अच्छी लगी तो लाइक शेयर एंड सब्सक्राइब टू माय चैनल। मिलते हैं कल एक और इन्फॉर्मेटिव वीडियो के साथ शाम 4 बजे। टिल देन कीप वॉचिंग एंड कीप सपोर्टिंग द सोलफुल डायरी। थैंक यू।